On BBC Two.
It's winter, 1066 AD. Fresh from victory over the Norse at Stamford Bridge, King Harold Godwinson's mighty English army has been forced to march swiftly south to deal with yet another threat to the English throne. This time, William of Normandy's powerful invasion force is camped on the Sussex coast at Hastings, intent on winning England's crown. The stakes could not be higher. Attempting to change the course of history this week, a team of mental health workers from Wales, watched over as ever by our military experts on Time Commanders. Welcome to the show that gives you the chance to test your mettle against history's greatest generals. With us today are a team of mental health workers from Bridgend in Wales. First up, Dr. Andrew Metters, a consultant psychiatrist.
I think on the day we're more likely to be 4 chiefs and no Indians. So in a sense, it doesn't matter who's a general and who's a captain. We'll all be shouting out advice to each other. Psychiatric nurse Kip Hall formerly served as a corporal in the army.
I suppose it's all about power. You know, once you get that feeling that you're a general, you know, you can control all these troops and get in there, powerful hits, and win the battle.
Francesca Firm is a senior occupational therapist and mother of 2.
I think I'll cope quite well under pressure. I'm usually quite level-headed. I'm not sure how I'll be after, but at the time I'm usually quite clear thinking.
And psychiatric nurse Rachel Lewis had her first baby last year.
We're actually quite balmy, really, you know, but let's just keep that between ourselves, is it?
Together, they are tonight's Time Commanders. Welcome, it's great to have you here. Just want to know, I mean, in your work, you must use particular skills. How do you reckon they're going to help?
We're a fully multidisciplinary team. We're used to working under pressure, in crisis situations with unpredictable clients.
So does that mean you're all going to fall out or not? That's really what I want to know.
Well, we do fall out, but we always make up after.
So hopefully there'll be no fighting in your team. And Kip, you actually have military experience. You've worked in the military.
Yeah, in the 70s I was in the British Army. I spent 9 years in the Royal Signals.
So is that going to help tonight, do you think?
You better.
There's pressure there, I can see, Kip.
Otherwise he's in trouble.
I think everybody's saying, you know, Kip has done a bit of time, so he must know what he's doing. And I suppose we're going to find out tonight.
Yes, because there's some pressure from that end of the table. Well, it's always fascinating to see how everybody gets on, how the dynamic works, and that's key to this. It's how you guys get on as a team. So good luck. And it's time now to meet the Time Commanders experts. Keeping an eye on everything our team does tonight are historical analyst Eric Nussbacher, senior lecturer in war studies at the Royal Military Academy, Sandhurst, and our tactical analyst, historic weapons expert and military historian Mike Loads. Now you've got to listen very carefully because your battle briefing is next.
You are going to refight the Battle of Hastings. It's the year 1066, and you're coming to the Sussex coast.
An incredibly powerful invasion force landed, and they're led by the power-crazed 39-year-old Duke William of Normandy, also known as William the Bastard.
William the Bastard is trying to fill the power vacuum left by the death of the old English king, Edward the Confessor. And just before this battle, your enemies, the English, have fought a battle at Stamford Bridge when another competitor for the throne tried to take it away from the English king, Harold Godwinson. That was Harold Hardrada.
The cream of Harold's army, now facing William, had been with him throughout the Stamford Bridge campaign. They'd had a 200-mile force march up to meet Hardrada. They had then fought an epic, strenuous conflict. And then they'd had 260 miles to get down south.
Not only does William have to fight the English army physically to get to London, but you will have to defeat the English army in order to have some measure of control over this country.
Because, time commanders, you will take command of William's Norman army. Now, the composition of your army is quite different to that of the English army. And the big, significant difference is you have cavalry. William has got lots of cavalry. And the cavalry can be used in two ways. Mostly, they were used as mobile missile platforms. They would ride up and throw their javelins, turn away, come back, waves, pricking at the enemy. If the enemy get into disarray, then you can confidently use them as contact troops. They can draw their swords, hacking in amongst them or stabbing down. But if you try and use them as contact groups against a frontal assault on a shield wall, you could get into a lot of trouble.
Yep.
You have got a big mixed bag of infantry, some very, very good, some of them a bit less well-trained. But amongst your infantry, you have got archers, and they're capable of giving you an ability to reach out to the enemy. You can use them, for instance, to disrupt enemy formations without having to get close to them yourselves. And then you can use the cavalry or some of your excellent infantry to make a hole and disrupt them further and possibly to get through their formations. But you must always have your cavalry and your infantry and your archers mutually supporting. By themselves, the archers or the cavalry or the infantry fall apart.
So we've got our team playing the French under William, not yet the Conqueror, against the English.
Okay.
This is important now. You've got your chance to ask questions of our experts. They have an enormous reservoir of knowledge of information, and we're going to take it away from you. So you've got 2 questions, and that's it. Use them wisely. Every scrap of information could be crucial.
Okay.
Ask away.
Our first question is, are the archers and the crossbowmen just as effective shooting over infantry, or do they need direct line of sight to be effective?
Crossbowmen and archers can shoot like that or like that. You need to find a point to experiment and see where your effective range is.
Okay. So where would Harold place his best troops?
He would have his best troops around him.
Right.
William's come to take his crown. He's come to get his kingdom. Once he's got Harold, he kind of wears the fight for the English. So he's always going to be surrounded by his best men, but he's also going to have some best men in the front.
But look for Harold and you'll find those best men, that's what they say. OK, really important thing to do now, and that's decide who will be playing as generals, who will be playing as captains. But I say decide, Eric and Mike have already done that. They look at your profiles and they decide who will be best, and it's important because this is about how you work together as a team. So, it's time to find out who will be giving the orders and who will be carrying them out.
We'd like to win, but we don't mind if we win or lose. This is about making a good account of yourself.
Andrew, you are a general.
Yes. Francesca, you are a captain.
And Kip, you are a general.
Yeah! Good one, Kip.
And Rachel, you are a captain.
Oh, thank you so much.
We work well as a team. We all have got our responsibilities in work and we take our roles very seriously, and we're able to apply ourselves to different situations.